Hi guys, Andy here again from Mad Lad Designs, continuing the playthrough of 9 Card Siege. We're on day 3, the final day. Can we make it? But before we jump in, a couple of things. First is a correction. I pulled this card on day 2, which is here. However, I looked at day 1, and I've done that a few times in many games I've played. So I reduced my morale and I reduced my supplies when I shouldn't have. So I am going to put those back up because I shouldn't have reduced those. And I should have done +1 to sabotage action, which is if you're behind enemy lines, if you remember, we can sabotage the trebuchet. And +1 to morale action, which means if I was going to try and boost my morale, I could add 1 to it. So that was the first correction I'm going to make. I'm going to shuffle those back in. Like so, make sure those are thoroughly mixed. There we go. Like that. The second thing is, which I forget as well, is you can move 1 through the tunnel for free every turn. So I can spend action points on other things, but always move 1 through the tunnel for free. And I keep forgetting to move through the tunnel. I'll try and remember that on our 3rd day. So we're going to be going on our 3rd day. So, are we behind enemy lines? No. So let's take our card, and we're looking at the bottom now. We're on day 3. Oh dear. Okay, day 3. All 3 things are going to move. So 1, 2, 3. And we've got all of them right close. Oh, if 2 manage to get on this close combat here, then it is game over. As long as 2 get on there. 1 is okay, but any 2 of these cubes and it's game over. So we've done that. Then we have faith. We get 3 action points. And we get +1 to attacks on the battering ram, the ladders, and morale actions. So if we're going to try and boost our morale, we get a +1 to boost our morale. Well, straight away we're going to try this. However, we can only attack 1 thing because they're on the circle. You can only attack 1 thing on the circle. Let's go with the battering ram because we get a +1. And we also get a +1 because they're right close to the castle walls. So we get a +2 on our roll. Let's hope we do well. So we need to beat the strength of 3. 3 plus the 2. So 3 +1 from here, +1 from there. It's 5. I can knock that back. Now, I think you can only attack something once when it's on the circle. You can't attack the same thing again if it's still on the circle, but I think you can attack other things on circles. So if I'd missed the battering ram, I couldn't attack it again if it was on the circle, but I can attack these 2, I think. So I am going to try and push down the ladder, and we get a +1 against the ladders, and also because it's on the circle we get another +1. Let's see what we get. Yes, push that back. Oh yes, of course, that's 2 action points. 1 action point left. Is it worth me trying to push the siege tower back, or shall I push some of these back? I get a +1 on the morale. Let's go with the morale. So I'll spend an action point. So I need 5 or 6 normally, but I get a +1 to the morale. So that equals 3, which is nowhere near a 5 or 6. So the morale does not get pushed back. Oh dear. So on to the next part of the day. We're not behind enemy lines, so we're going to turn the card over. We're looking at the bottom. Boiling oil. +2 to attacks on enemy units in spaces. I like that. And we get 2 action points. I'm definitely going to spend 1 to try and push the siege tower back. And remember, we get a +1 because it's right up close on the circle. And then we get another +2, so that we get a +3 to push this back. So here we go. So 3 + 2 is 5, more than a 4. We push that back. Whew. I'm going to try and push this back again while I can. Oh no, I can't. Well, I can, but I don't get the +2 because we're not right next to the circles. And I said it was boiling water. It's not, it's boiling oil. Boiling oil that gets poured down. I have one action point left. Should we get the men into the tunnel? Let's get the men into the tunnel. There we go. Right. Next turn, not behind enemy lines. We're looking at the bottom. Repair trebuchet. Add 1 trebuchet. Add +1 to this action. Still can't know how this is pronounced, but that's for the wall, if we're going to repair the wall. So we repair a trebuchet, but we're already at 3, so we can't do that. But we can get a plus on the wall, which I'm going to do. Let's have a look. So we need a 5 or 6. So we get a 4 plus the 1 for the wall is a 5. And we need a 5 or 6, so push that one back. And now we move on to the next day. We're not behind enemy lines. Draw a card. +1 to attacks on the siege engine. Oh, of course, I think, did I? I don't think I moved the ladder. And did I even move the ladder and the battering ram? I can't remember. So I'm just going to move the ladder one. I can't even remember if I moved them. But I am going to move the siege tower. Try and remember. If I missed one, I apologise. But there's lots to remember, as you can see. So we get 3 action points. And we get +1 to attacks on the siege engine. So I am going to attack the siege engine. And because it's on the circle, we get a +1 for that, for the boiling oil. And then +1 for the flaming arrows. So we get a +2. Now that is cockeyed. So 2 + 2 is 4, not enough. We can't attack the siege engine again because it's on the circle. Let's go with the ladder. I'm going to attack the ladder. And we need a 3, 4 or 5 and we get a +1. And we get a 5. There we go. And our man is going to move through the tunnel for free. I almost forgot there. So he moves across for free. Let's try and get our morale up. So I'm going to spend another one to try and boost our morale with a 5 or 6 quad. And we get a 4. Of course. Right, that's that turn over with. Next turn, we're not behind enemy lines yet. So I'm going to turn over trebuchet attacks. We still have 3. Still have 3. So 2 damage to the wall. And we get 1 action. Wow. 1 action. 2 damage to the wall. And 1 action. Let's try... let's try and get the siege tower away from our castle walls. So we need a 5 or 6. Oh, and I think I'm going to move our men 1 so we can move into the enemy lines. Then we move on to the next turn. Are we behind enemy lines? We are. We do not want a 1. We get a 6, that's okay. Then we turn this over, looking at the bottom one. Oh, the trebuchet attacks again. Didn't realise it would attack twice. Okie doke. So it's going to go to 0, although it says 2 damage, you can only go to 0. And we get 1 action. Now, winning and losing. If at the end of the turn you are on 0 for something and the turn ends, then it's game over. So I need to recuperate this wall. If I do not, at the end of the turn, it is game over. So obviously I'm going to spend this 1 to try and shore up this wall, and I need a 5 or 6. What do you reckon? Okay, do you want to place your bets now? Do you think I'm going to get a 5 or 6? If I do, I survive. If I don't, the wall has been smashed in and all the enemy come rushing in and we are defeated. Here we go. 5 or 6, come on. Wish me luck, guys. Here we go. 5 or 6. And of course you expected that, didn't you? How many of you said no? Nearly all of you said, I imagine. And you're right. I did not get that up. So it is now the end of the day. We have something on 0 at the end of the day. And if we look here, so if 2 enemies occupy the close combat space, which is this space here, or one of the stasis tracks is on 0, which it is, that's ours, that's the wall. Look at that, 1 card left. If I'd managed to survive that 1 card, I would have won the game. But I didn't. I've smashed through the wall. So there you go, guys. That is 9 Card Siege by Chris Hansen. Nifty little game, just with 9 cards and 9 cubes and a dice. Definitely lots to think about while you're playing. So remember all the different things you need to, because I forget quite a lot. But that's it, guys. I will be doing more playthroughs of print and play games as well as normal board retail games. But until then, I will catch you guys later.